was a young lass, in my parents' house, my father introduced me to a musical called Into the Woods. It changed my life because it was the first stage musical I'd ever seen, and the magic of musical theater hit me right there. Just forever. Love them. Love musicals. In June of 2021, Into the Woods changed my life again. But let's go back a couple of months to when I went into audition for Into the Woods. Our local community theater was producing this show, and when it was announced, I immediately jumped on it because Into the Woods is amazing. And though my preferred roles of choice would be the baker's wife or the witch, those two are probably my main range, I knew that I could not, with my current talents, compete with the talent of our community, because I know them and I've seen them in other musicals and they're amazing. So I walked up on the stage for this group audition, and the director was reading the page that I had filled out for my audition. And the first character that I said that I was most interested in portraying was Milky-White, the cow, with no lines. And of course, everybody was kind of just like muttering to themselves, like, is this a prank? Why is she... What? Why? No? Ha, that's hilarious. What? And then the director said, very kindly, trying not to laugh at me, we're not casting Milky-White. And then I quickly was like, no, but I'm a puppeteer. So, like, I'm here because, like, I want to be a puppeteer in your show for the cow, for Milky-White. Just let me be in your show, please. I'm desperate. Because that's pretty much what happened. Because, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. Thankfully, my whining on the stage went over a lot better in person than it did in my head. And suddenly they were casting for that role. Me. The one person who was like, I want to be Milky-White, please let me be Milky-White. So that's how I got to be in Into the Woods in June of 2021. The only problem was they asked me if I would be able to make the puppet, because they were not going to make the puppet, and they figured I probably had the skills because I was a puppeteer. And I was like, of course, duh, yeah, I'm totally doing that. And then I went home and was like, what have I done? I've never made a puppet that big before. I've barely made a puppet before. I've made exactly one puppet in my whole life. Exactly one. Well, if you don't count like the paper bag puppets when you're like 3. One puppet. Just one. And that puppet was this one. Say hi, Luna. Hello. I'm not a ventriloquist. I never said that I was. Okay, so Luna, as I lovingly call her, even though I have literally like never done anything with her, I just made her because I was like, I'm gonna make a puppet today, and then I did. And she's, you know, made out of fur and ping pong balls and has no arms. So definitely prepared for making a full-sized cow puppet. No, Biggie, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. What are you doing? Oh, you're noticing that I didn't give you arms. Yes. Don't look at me like that. I didn't have time, okay? She's fine. Don't worry about it. So I, having only made one puppet, I was like, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna make this the best freaking cow puppet you've ever seen in your life. So I started sketching out my design, which I decided to draw like the cheetah puppet from The Lion King on Broadway. because I'm that good, right? No. So I've got my sketch. I'm not really worried about it. I've got them all labeled, all the little parts labeled, the materials I'm going to use to make each little part, how they're going to work together, how I'm going to move each part. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, not a big deal. It's going to be fine. Spoiler alert, pretty much every single label changed by the end of the project because I had no idea what I was doing. Yay. I'm not going to go into super great detail about all the different things that I did to make the puppet. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments below. I can do a whole video just talking about all the details. I can actually pull her out because I still have her in my closet, and I can show you all the little details and how I made things and patterns and all that kind of stuff. So let me know if you're interested. This is more of like a inspirational video versus like a tutorial. So if you're interested in a tutorial, I can maybe whip something up. Let me know in the comments. So kind of just going over the basics of the process. I was ripping my hair out and crying into my husband's lap and wishing I were dead, and you know, just the common things that happen when you're making something in like a month and a half and you work in a full-time job and you still have to go to rehearsals and, you know, be a loving wife and a loving mother to your 4 children. It's not stressful at all. I was very rude to my husband a lot and bossy and just telling him what to do because I was like, help me, I need help. And he still loves me, which is great. True love. I love you, honey. And then my boss was very kind to me because I was at work and not really at work mentally. Like, I might be like doing some data entry stuff and like my brain is way over here. And then I'm like, how am I gonna fix that problem? Because that happened a lot. So my boss was like, is there any way I can help you? And I was like, I don't know. I just, sometimes I need help like holding stuff because freaking huge puppet, I can't like measure and hold at the same time, which is what I was having my husband do. And after being mean to him, I didn't want to ask him again because I wanted him to still like me. So my boss was like, I can come over and help you and we can just like make an afternoon out of it. And I was like, what? So shout out to her for being amazing and helping me because I would not have been able to finish this project if I had not had her help. And then I was just like super emotionally invested in this project, like crazy. So when I finally finished her, she was imperfect. Very imperfect, especially for what I had in mind initially. And I was like, I really hope she works. I really hope her head doesn't fall off in the middle of a performance. That would be horrible. I finally got to perform with her and it was amazing. I was not expecting it to be as amazing as it was. Like, I put so much effort into it, and I walked out on stage to kind of set the stage because the cow is already on the stage when the musical starts. And so I'm walking out in the dark. Before the show even started, I could hear kids especially, but even adults in the audience gasping and going like, oh my gosh, look at that cow. What? And that was it. That was all I needed. And it was like completely satisfying to just know that I had made a difference by working extra hard to make something come to life that they were not expecting to come to life. And having that experience and giving that experience to the audience who was expecting just like a prop cow that was probably not to scale. Not that my puppet was to scale, but like it was pretty big. It's a pretty dang big puppet. Believe me, my shoulders know. It was big and heavy. With them expecting something like that, to have something come out that was just pure magic made all the difference. And to know that I made the magic and then performed the magic for them to make that difference, it was just like 100% worth it. After the show was over, we were just stoked out of our minds that we made it through, and like, I was just happy that I didn't take away from the experience. like with a cow head falling off in the middle of the show and leaving this very weird looking neck sticking out and horrifying children for the rest of their lives. I was just glad that that didn't happen. And of course, then there's people coming up to me and saying, oh my gosh, your cow is my favorite. I loved it so much. And I was like, what? You actually really liked it? It was so, like, more than the reaction that I was expecting. And I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought that the gasping at the beginning of the show, of just them going, oh my gosh, wow. I thought that was gonna be it. After it was just all said and done, finish the puppet, perform the show, and then having people come up and say all these things that were so nice about me and my work, I was like, this is the first time that I've ever actually felt that I deserved it. Like, I cut corners a lot. I'm super lazy. I'm like, I brain hack everything because I'm like, I need to make this happen, but that's boring or I hate it. And so I'll just like find a shortcut or find the easy way or make it fun or whatever. And like, those are all good things. But at the same time, having gone through so much heartache and pain and tears and coming out on the other end and having people be like, good job, you did that. I was like, I did. I really did. I did that. And actually having that moment and realizing like how much more fulfilling those comments are when I've put in a lot of work. It was interesting because I had so much imposter syndrome before, and then on the other side of it, it was like, no, this is what happened. This is for real. This is fact. I did that, and they liked it, and therefore I can do it, and I am qualified because I did it, and it happened, and I have proof right there. I did it. So I'm not saying all of this to be like, I'm so amazing and like toot my own horn, because I'm not. Like, I'm a regular person who clearly has a lot of fears and insecurities and deals with imposter syndrome and says things like, I can do that, and then freaks out about it. I say all of this to say this was the moment that my life changed. Again, because of Into the Woods. But this time, Into the Woods changed my life because it made me realize through Making Milky-White that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And even if it sucks, or even if I hate it sometimes, that doesn't mean that it won't be worth it in the end. And that hard work actually pays off, because all it takes is a mindset that says, I can do it, which, you know, fluctuates. And it did when I even while I was making Milky-White, I was like, I can do it at the beginning. And then I was like, I cannot do it. And then I was like, I have to do it. So I can do it, and I will do it. And I figured it out. And all my skill set in the whole process was I knew how to use a sewing machine. I was fairly crafty. I am fairly crafty. Like putting things together, taking something that has a purpose and making it have a different purpose for your own purposes is something I'm very good at. You can ask my husband, because I frequently mix up the dish towel and the hand towel because they're both towels and they do the same thing. But I digress. So I'm crafty, I know how to use a sewing machine, and I know how to watch YouTube videos, which is not hard. Anybody can do that. And I did. And huge shout out to Casplay on YouTube, who posted a video of her Hogger cosplay, which honestly, I'm sorry, I didn't even know what Hogger is, but like I was just searching keywords and I stumbled on her video because I could not figure out for the life of me how to do Milky-White's neck and how to make it work the way that I needed it to work. And she had this whole description and what types of things she purchased and like links to those things and all of this stuff. And it literally was the only video I could find that had anything related to neck movement in that kind of puppet style that I was looking for. And literally, I would not have been able to do this without her. So huge shout out to Casplay. I will have links for her videos in the description so you can check them out and check her channel out because she's amazing and has so many wonderful tips. And YouTube is a wonderful place, and I'm so thankful that she posted that video because she could have just made her Hogger cosplay and been like, I'm happy that I have this cosplay, the end. But she was like, let me share my process with you. Therefore, drum roll, that's why I'm starting this YouTube channel. Because number one, I can do anything I put my mind to. And even though I don't have a ton of experience with video editing or even filming, I can learn. Plenty of people do. That's how you do anything, is you learn how to. It's the people who say, I don't know how to, therefore I won't, that don't get to do the things they want to do. I'm gonna learn, and I already have been learning a ton, watching so many YouTube videos to help me kind of get the idea of how to start a YouTube channel. So number one, I'm starting the YouTube channel because I can do anything I put my mind to. Number two, I'm starting this YouTube channel because documenting my process for making things and basically just life in general helps people. There are so many YouTube videos I've watched where I'm like, I'm so glad this person put this together and shared it with the world because now I've learned something from either their experiences or from like what they did wrong or like literally watching them make it, therefore I can now go and make it. There are so many things about YouTube that make it such a wonderful resource, and I don't claim to know a bunch of stuff or have it all together or anything, but like when I'm learning stuff and putting stuff together and figuring it out, I want to be able to share that with other people who might be trying to do the exact same thing. What if there's another community theater that's like, we want to have a Milky-White puppet and not some random prop. I want to learn how to do it. Hence the channel.
Minds, what dangers I know get past the woods. And once we're past, let's hope the changes last.
If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I want to say a huge thank you to you. I hope you feel inspired by what I've gone through and it inspires you to go out and do great stuff that you just want to do because you can. Because you can learn anything on YouTube. So go do the thing. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy this video, send it to all your friends. It would be a great prank. I'll see you next time.